Hi, everyone. Welcome to 2025 World Resilience Summit. We'll be talking about national and global resilience. Here, the topic is resilience in national and global setting. And my name is Stanley Ngui. Since 1989, the chi is becoming more yang, or the frequency is increasing. This is the year of the wooden snake. It signifies in order to move forward successfully, you must shed the old baggage that is disadvantage to you and be resilient to start new ways of advancing. This presentation is about shedding the old approaches while still maintaining the ancient principles and be resilient enough to start a new project. For example, Ngui Matrix. This has already gained popularity nationally and globally. Let's lay out its foundation. The year of the wooden snake. What is required for you to do in order to succeed? You do have to plan and calculate strategies. Wait for the right time to strike. That's what a snake does. That means wait for the right time to start the project. A snake must show resilience in order to capture its prey. That means you have to be smart about it and be flexible enough in order to obtain your goal. The evolution of quantum physics. We see evidence of quantum physics evolution on a daily basis. The cell phone is a prime example. It can connect wirelessly across the world instantaneously. This is quantum connectivity. And in Qigong, of course, we can also connect. And that's how we know someone is talking to us and we need to probably phone them. There is evidence of the principle of Qigong being used by quantum physics. So let's look at that. The similarities between Qigong and quantum physics. Since this is a Qigong summit, I don't need to explain the Qigong part of it, but I'll talk a little bit about the quantum physics. Qigong, we talk about light. Quantum physics, it's talked about photons, and photons are subatomic particles. So let's try to understand that a little bit. Let's look at an example. Water, for instance, H2O. When you lower the temperature and it freezes, it becomes ice. And ice is solid and lighter and so forth. So there are a lot of qualities of light that is ice that is different. Okay. Likewise, photons or subatomic particles behave different from what is called the classic physics. Their behavior are different and sometimes almost opposite. Okay, let's look at the next one. In Qigong, we call Qi. Qi, as we know, is energy. In quantum physics, they call it frequency. And what happens here is in quantum physics, they look at the different states of Qi, okay, for different activity, different performances, right? So their Qi that would actually do certain work. Okay, and you have to, as a Qigong master, you have to select that Qi to do that particular activity that you're trying to do. In quantum physics, okay, it's broken down to frequency. And the frequency is selected according to what you want to achieve. Like if you want to remove, say, a tumor, for instance, you have certain frequency that allows tumor to diminish. So you bombard that particular object with this selected frequency, and it'll start reducing that mass. And these are the frequencies usually is selected, well, selected by the master or the operator, and passes through a quantum machine which infuse that particular frequency in a carrier. And the carrier can be almost any object, but usually a hard object. So in Chinese, we look at jade is actually very protective and very healing. Okay, so for instance, jade can be used, and the shape also. The shape is very important. When you have a donut shape, okay, it actually multiplies the energy. Next, we look at the in Qigong Qi emission. Qi emission is scalar energy in quantum physics. So just like in Qigong, we can emit Qi across the world and heal somebody on the opposite side. Scalar energy does the same. And there's no time and space. That means it does it instantly. Doesn't matter where it is. Just like Qi, because these are all subatomic, they're very, very small. They can pass through walls. Objects are basically time and space doesn't matter. And lastly, we're going to be looking at universal connection. This is called quantum entanglement in quantum physics. And what it is, there's always a connection, a universal connection, a connection in quantum physics to talk about the cloud. So there's always a connection. So quantum physics call that entanglement. Let's look at Qigong now, the way we see it as a Qigong master. So we cover basically all the aspects of Qigong. First of all, Qigong is the mother art or the umbrella in which the whole Chinese culture, especially the ancients, right, covers. So some of the aspects are principles and philosophies, exercises, therapies, nutrition, martial arts, herbs, feng shui, teaching, and of course, lifestyle. Okay, it's all embedded in the culture. So this new project is called Nye Matrix. And we know that energy travels in the path of least resistance. So the path of least resistance is a straight line if everything is ideal. If there are little obstacles along the way, the chi can bend a little bit or circle around that object. Okay. Sometimes it'll go right through, but let's put it this way, it'll circle around. So just like a lightning bolt is energy, and it always go from the clouds down to earth, the ground. And sometimes you'll have a little jolt or jog in it. And the reason why that happens is because there's some resistance there. Okay. The lightning bolt carves its own way. The lightning bolt carves its own way. And it's, if you look at it, it's usually a straight line. And that's generally how chi flows. So that's how the matrix comes in, because matrix has to do with, right, horizontal and vertical lines, okay, straight lines. The healthcare of the future now. We have biophoton devices, okay, and we have quantum machine that infuses frequencies or chi into these jades, and you can use it and place it on a patient's um, skin topically. So modern therapy can include some of the common aspects of Qigong. The therapy itself, herbs, nutrition, exercises, and lifestyle. The Qi frequency from a Qigong master is inputted in a quantum machine, and this frequency is infused into a carrier like jade. The jade is then placed on the patient's body to emit the specific infused frequency to activate the body's response to return it to homeostasis, to a healthy state. So Qigong, a holistic treatment. Qigong and a holistic treatment can treat any health issues since it treats the body and not diseases. Here are the topics. There are three topics: pain, systemic issues, brain and mind imbalances. Okay, pain really has to do with pressure points to treat distal areas. It looks magical in that you can press a point in the head and it'll get rid or eliminate a point in the leg instantaneously. Okay. Secondly, systemic issue to treat chronic diseases. So chronic diseases require understanding of the body and the body function. Okay, according to Chinese medical theory. So you do have to understand how the body works and what organ is affected to cause the symptom of this chronic issue. Thirdly, brain and mind imbalances. Addressing brain and mind issues, example, concussion, depression and anxiety, heart and cardiovascular issues, sleep issues, and dementia. So covering these three topics basically can treat any issues, health issues that anyone would have. Let's break it down a little bit more. Qigong and holistic treatment. Distal pain in the body can be treated by applying a pressure point in the head at a specific point in that zone. This works instantaneously since qi or scalar energy is instantaneous. The map of the landscape of the head explains the point. And all you have to do is learn the landscape of the head. Systemic issues. Systemic issues include cancer, diabetes, arthritis, skin problems, heart and stroke, and other chronic diseases. Some of the techniques used are meridian system, endpoints. Endpoints are sometimes called Jingwell. Reflex points, lie matrix point, Asher points, and organ influences. Qigong and holistic treatment continued. Number 3, brain and mind imbalances. Addressing brain and mind issues like, as I mentioned before, depression and anxiety, heart and cardiovascular issues, sleep issues, and dementia. It is important to know, number 1, how the brain works. Number 2, communication between various aspects of the brain. The brain speaks to each other, okay? And we must have an understanding of that in order to apply. And this application could be a Qigong exercise or meditation or done in the clinic. The six pillars. Of course, there's six pillars: meditation, or you can have it done in a clinic. The five spirits that pertains to each organ, and the five levels of unconscious mind that has to do with each level have a specific um, work that it has to do, a specific duty. And once you understand these, the brain is much easier to treat. The new frontier of healthcare. Matrix has evolved into a profound healthcare procedure. It is called the new frontier of healthcare. And these particular words were given from people, from important people in the healthcare system. Now, just give you a broad overview of what we do at Lifestyle Integrative Medicine Clinic. We have classes, meditation. So the first picture shows that we actually have classes. The second picture is actually a class in progress in our gym. The third has to do with clinical therapies. And this is a typical room. And this is a sign at our front door. And our reception area. Integrative medicine is a modern school of medicine that incorporates natural and systemic approaches. Lifestyle integrative medical approach incorporates the ancient and proven wisdom of Qigong and the modern science of quantum physics. Integrative medicine is a practice that selectively incorporates the elements of natural medicine. Natural medicine includes all aspects of healthcare that have to do with natural approaches and deal with therapy, natural products, including herbs. Natural integrative medicine is outside the scope of Western medicine and has its own lane. Okay? It addressing an illness is a completely different approach to what is known in the Western world. Natural integrative medicine does not treat disease. Instead, it treats the body. This is done by looking at the chief complaint and observing what area of the body is affected. It then looks at other parts of the body that can support and restore the body to its natural state. So this is a typical treatment. It's quite relaxing, and there's virtually no pain. This is an example of resilience. And you can have your own project that you are resilient. resilient too. So where can this go? There are home remedies and treatments that one can learn and use at home. This can be part of health and wellness consultation simply because you can do it through the internet, you can do it through Zoom. It can be used also in clinical setting. And there's some information. I'm not going to spend long on this because Lama's already given you the information. The information is online already. And thank you.